hope and love. Where do I find it in this crazy old world? I need strategies, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Every time I listen, Lauren and David share strategies for living, and it makes me aware. I've got strategies for living, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio.
Oh, we need them. Yeah, we need those strategies, don't we? Those strategies for living. So are you ready? You ready for your daily dose of radio rehab?
Oh, I think I am.
I know you are today.
I am epically ready.
I think you're epic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I'm epic too.
I think so too. And I think our life strategist is
he's definitely epic.
Like beyond epic.
You know, Lauren, there's a handful of people in your life when you get as old as I am.
Please.
And you look back, there's a handful of people, if you're blessed, and I have been, there's a handful of people that are true mentors to you that really changed the trajectory of your life.
Yeah.
And our life strategist today is one of those for me. His name is Larry Valmore. He's got all the credentials and the letters behind his name. He's a clinical social worker and he's a coach and knows a lot about energy, work.
But beyond that, he's an incredibly kind, amazing human being.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. He's epic.
Yeah, he is.
And, when it comes to, the raising kids today, we need a little bit more epic.
Oh, my goodness.
And Larry has developed, and we're going to talk about it today. What if, just imagine this, what if there were extraordinary parents and invincible children? Would that make a difference in the world?
I'd imagine, yeah. Isn't that the idea that every generation grapples with? How can we leave a better world for our children, and how can our children be better?
Yeah.
Become better?
Absolutely. And I think, that Larry has developed a program that he calls Epic Parenting. And we're going to talk about it today. And in fact, we're just, there's so much to this. We're just going to barely scratch the surface. But I think you're going to understand a lot about where Larry Valmore is coming from. And we all need a little parenting help now and again. Yeah.
Even if it's just for ourselves, right?
Amen. Folks, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you being here with us on Strategies for Living, and we appreciate our sponsors who make it possible, the Robinson Film Center, and Azalea Cleaners, and Pintail Roofing, and Learning RX, We Train Your Brain, the Balanced Life Wellness Center, Fertitta's Delicatessen, home of the Godfather, Alligator Italian Sausage, SRT, Sales Training, Uprising Addiction Center, and Mira, Direct Primary Care. We are going to get epic today with Larry Valmore right here on Strategies for Living. Come back with us.
We all have problems every day. We all need help along the way. We need strategies for living radio.
And welcome in to Strategies for Living Radio. Lauren Leon McMillian, David McMillian. Let's welcome into the program now Larry Valmore. As I said earlier, Larry holds a master's degree in clinical social work. For 20 years, more than 20 years now, Larry has taught how to use the subconscious mind for better health, better relationships, athletic performance, work performance. Larry has taught in 25 states and 15 foreign countries. So this guy has traveled all over. And I'm really excited about this new program that he has developed called Epic Parenting. Larry Valmore, welcome back to Strategies.
Larry. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here, you lovely people.
We try.
Always glad to have you.
Yeah. So let's start at the beginning. you obviously, we're going to talk about epic parenting today. That's Extraordinary Parents, Invincible Children. When you sat down and either it downloaded to you or you created it, talk to us about the difference Invincible Children and Extraordinary Parents will make if one can listen to the things that you're suggesting.
Well, when I say invincible children, I'm talking about children who grow up emotionally strong, skilled at solving problems, skilled at cooperating with others. This is so important.
Yeah.
Cooperating with other people to accomplish useful things in the world. It's hard for any one person to create something really great.
Yeah.
It happens sometimes, but mostly it's small or sometimes larger groups of people that accomplish great things in the world.
You know,
And these invincible children have reams and reams of self-esteem. And right there, if everybody had really good self-esteem, we'd have virtually zero theft, assault, murder. Crime would be at a virtual zero if every person had the proper amount, a really good amount of actual self-esteem.
Yeah.
So let's start there, kind of. And I want to get this out of the way because I don't want to be negative here. I want to be extremely positive today. But obviously, when you look at the world realistically, and you look at our kids as a whole, obviously we don't have that. We don't have. We're not raising children with a high sense of self-esteem. What's happening? What's happened? Again, I don't want to stay negative, but how have we gotten to the point where we really need epic parenting?
Well, I believe that, first of all, the majority of parents, the vast majority, there's some that are just kind of checked out. You got parents that are on drugs and they're just not paying any attention. But the vast majority of parents, and certainly anybody who would tune into your program, is working hard, doing the best they know how. To raise great kids. Unfortunately, nobody gave them a good quality manual. So I'm here to present a manual for raising great kids. And David, Lauren, I'd like to start by quoting something from a film, from a movie. Do you guys know this Incredibles franchise? It's an animated.
Disney's The Incredibles.
Yeah, it's a family of 5, and they're all superheroes. So there's mom and dad, and then a girl that's 13 or something, and a boy is around 10 or 11. Then they have a baby that's, I don't know, 10 months or a year old, somewhere in there. And they all have superpowers. Now, there was The Incredibles to begin with, and then Incredibles 2. And I'm going to quote from Incredibles 2, the second movie.
Okay.
And what happens in this movie is that superhero mom goes off to do superhero things, leaves dad in charge of the 3 kids, and he's kind of overwhelmed. So at one point in the movie, he goes to Edna Mode. Now, Edna is the designer of their superhero suits.
Oh, okay.
But she's also a kind of friend of the family, and they call her Auntie Edna.
Yep.
So dad goes and he really kind of starts to complain about how difficult it is to take care of his children. And Edna says, this is a quote, "Done properly, parenting is a heroic act." Done properly. Now see, that's the end of the quote. She emphasizes done properly.
Right.
And so I thought today, let's see if we can help parents do parenting more properly and thereby become even bigger heroes.
I
So
can't think of a better use of our time.
We should start by thanking parents for being parents. It's a very important. And David, I know you're a parent, so thank you for parenting.
You're welcome.
We thank all parents for parenting. This is a very necessary. If we're still going to have the human species, people have to have children, and then they have to rear those children.
I'd argue it's the most important job we could have.
Yeah, maybe
as a
the.
society.
Yeah.
And it's also the most difficult thing that anybody ever does.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And you pointed out earlier, I mean, there are no textbooks that are issued when,
I had a psychology professor in college who she would get on her soapbox about how ridiculous it was that, we'd had to have a license to drive and we had to get a certificate and license to do all kinds of these jobs, but nobody is required to have a parenting license. And I don't think she was far off on that.
Yeah.
No, not at all. No, if people had to pass a test, we might have better quality parenting.
Yeah.
And of course, there are a lot of manuals. There's a lot of information out there, but I find that a lot of what I've read or heard people talk about it just either inadequate or off track.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, off track.
Yeah.
And so today, what I propose to do is offer an explanation, first of all, for why parents have difficulties with kids in the sense that kids won't do what they're told to do. They won't do what they're asked. They won't do often what they're supposed to do, their behavior problems and so on. And I can explain why that happens. Maybe not, it doesn't necessarily explain every single thing, but it explains almost everything.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. And then following this understanding about why kids misbehave, I will offer a simple yet effective process that parents can use. Any parent can use this, and they will get better behavior from their children. It will begin to solve the problem that I'll outline first. So that's the agenda for today that I'm proposing. I'm going to explain why the problems happen, and then one key thing that you can do as a parent to solve those problems. How's that sound?
That sounds great. It sounds great. And let me say early here in the program that you are available for coaching, for help. You've got epic parenting that anybody can take advantage of, and you can be reached at 303-204-4481 or at LarryValmore@gmail.com. I'm going to give that several times during the program so that.
And if you're on podcast, I'll put it in the description.
There you go. All right, so I like your proposal, Larry. Let's start there. Why don't kids do what we ask them to do? I mean, it's simple.
It should be.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds simple, but not in reality. Yeah.
So imagine this. Imagine that you are seated on an airliner. Let's say you're on a 757, and you are flying from Shreveport to Los Angeles.
Right.
Now you are over central or western Texas, and you're just enjoying your soda and some pretzels. The flight attendant bursts out of the cockpit and says, "Oh my God, both pilots are dead. There's nobody flying the plane."
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord. What happens on the airplane?
Panic.
Chaos.
Panic, chaos, because people are what?
Afraid.
They're scared. Yeah.
They are scared. Oh
Well,
my God,
frightened
nobody's
beyond.
flying this
Oh,
thing.
you
Yeah.
mean nobody's in control?
Oh.
Nobody's in control. We're
Oh.
all going to die. All right. So that's correct. There is panic and chaos on the airplane. Now, imagine that a man, a distinguished looking man, a little bit of gray around the temples and whatnot, stands up and in a loud, commanding voice, he says, "Everyone calm down, be quiet, be quiet." He says, "I just retired from this very airline. I have more than 20,000 hours of flight time in this exact type of aircraft. I'll go fly the plane." Now what happens?
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Relief, calm, quiet. The whole place quiets because now people think, oh, somebody qualified is in charge. Somebody will fly this plane. And so we're going to live and we'll be fine.
We are going to live, and we will be fine, and we will learn about epic parenting today. Extraordinary parenting, Invincible Children. We're with Larry Valmore, learning today, and we've got much more to learn, much more to come. It's Larry Valmore at gmail.com. That's the email, and it's 303-204-4481. We've got much more to learn and much more to come right here on Strategies for Living. Be right back.
Tune in daily, find the light. Healthy mind and spirits bright. Strategies for living strong. Feel the vibe, it won't go wrong. Body moves and soul align. Catch the rhythm, feel the time. Radio rehab every day. Chase those clouds of gray away. Your daily dose of radio rehab. Lift you up when skies seem drab. Mind and body, spirits free. Living life in harmony.
Welcome back in. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillian, David McMillian with Larry Valmore today. Epic parenting. Remember that name, Epic Parenting. Extraordinary parents, Invincible Children. You can call him at 303-204-4481. Or you can drop him an email, LarryValmore at gmail.com. Okay, I got to go back. Inquiring minds want to know, Larry. Okay, the pilot has, the stewardess has said the pilots are dead, and panic ensues on the aircraft. And then this gentleman stands up and says, I'm just recently retired. I know how to fly this plane. I'll go up and do it.
And this is what your kids feel like if you are out of control as a parent. If you yell at your kids, if you scream at your kids, if you tell them to do things and then let it go when they don't do it, the kids conclude nobody is flying this thing. Nobody's flying this family. And they are in a kind of quiet panic. It's not exactly the same fear as the people on the airplane once they learn the pilots are dead, but it's close to that. Yeah. It's this ongoing, it's 24/7 low-level anxiety. And that anxiety keeps them keeps their whole emotional world in upset. And one way they express it is by doing what the psychologists call acting out. They will run around and mess things up. They will irritate other kids. Sometimes they assault other kids. Sometimes they just start banging away on other kids, or they're hard to control at home. They won't brush their teeth when they're supposed to. They won't go to bed when they're supposed to. They won't clean up their room. They just fight you and fight you and fight you. And this is because they are anxious. And so for the parent who is fully in control of their own emotions, they're metaphorically fully in control of the controls of the airplane.
Yeah.
They're flying this thing, they're flying the family. Then the kids can relax. And when the kids can relax, then they become better behaved. And they end up, if they spend years and years in an environment like that, they'll end up being more productive members of society.
Yes. Yeah.
And so parents have the opportunity to launch into the world better people, better behaved people, and all of society benefits when better children are launched into society as young adults.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I contend, among other things, that this will pay back big dividends. For one thing, kids that are able to function with other kids effectively, I talked about Invincible Children, can work with other people to create useful things in the world. Those people make more money.
Yeah.
Whether they're an entrepreneur, whether they're working in corporate America, wherever it is, they're going to get promoted. They're going to do well in business or what have you. They're going to make more money.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that's worthwhile in and of itself, to say nothing of the crimes they won't commit and the things they will create that can be of benefit to all the rest of us.
Yeah.
So it's important that the parents be in control of themselves as best they possibly can in order to help kids feel safe and become better quality people.
So what I'm hearing really is that a lot, or if not many, parenting problems are actually nervous system problems, self-regulation problems. Yes.
And I'm going to offer next a simple process. That's not to say that it's easy necessarily, but it is simple. It's a simple concept, and it is doable, and it works. It's simple and effective.
Okay.
Can't beat that.
I call it the rule of 3. So let's imagine for a moment, and parents are smart enough to take this example and translate it into whatever their actual realities are. But let's imagine 8-year-old Sarah, and Sarah has a 8:30 bedtime. Now that doesn't mean she has to be asleep by 8:30, but by 8:30 she has to be in movement towards brushing her teeth, taking off clothes, putting on pajamas,
Winding
getting in
down.
bed.
Yeah.
Winding down from starting at 8:30, no later than 8:30. Now, the really smart parent, I'm going to give the A+ version of this rule of 3, and the more you can do it like I'm going to outline it, the better off you'll be. And by you, I mean mom, dad of kids that are anywhere from 3 to 12 probably, or 5, at least 5 to 12. So 8-year-old Sarah is occupied in something that she enjoys. She's watching TV, she's playing a video game, she's reading a book. I don't know what she's doing, but she's occupied. The A+ version, mom, I'll just use mom. It could be dad, but for the example, I'll use mom. Mom says, Sarah, it's 8:20. You've got 10 minutes before going to bed. Now, the reason this is useful is because nobody likes to be told right in the middle of something that they're doing.
Yeah.
You have to stop instantly and go do something else.
Yeah, that's not really.
So if she had, go ahead.
That won't really get good results anytime, will it? For any of us.
It won't get good results. So the smartest parent will give a 10-minute heads up. Notice I don't say it's a warning. There's nothing dangerous about this, but a heads up. It's 10 minutes until bedtime. And then the very best quality of the very best expression of this is 5 minutes later. Mom says, Sarah, it's 5 minutes till bedtime. So Sarah is alerted. She becomes aware. She's gotten a heads up that this thing is coming up pretty soon.
Right.
Once it hits 8:30, Mom says, Sarah, go get ready for bed. Now let's imagine for a moment that Sarah doesn't move. She's still playing her video game. So Mom will wait 15 or 20 seconds and then say, again, for the second time, she'll say, Sarah, you need to get ready for bed now. Now she says this quietly. There's no yelling. There's no even raising of her voice. If anything, Mom speaks even a little more quietly than the first time, but maybe with a little bit of intensity. Sarah, it's time to get ready for bed. Now let's imagine Sarah still doesn't do anything. And a lot of parents experience this. You say to a kid, do this, and kid moves not a muscle, right? They don't even acknowledge that they've heard anything. So if Mom has to, and this is why it's called the rule of three, if Mom has to say for the third time, Sarah, get ready for bed, this is how she'll do it. She'll get up from wherever she is. She'll walk over and she'll sit down or kneel down very close to Sarah, and she will say this, Sarah, this is the third time I'm asking you to get ready for bed. And because I've had to ask you for the third time, tomorrow you will not be allowed to play your video game.
Mm-hmm.
Or Mom will say, tomorrow you will not be allowed to ride your bicycle. Or you will not be allowed to have your telephone. Hopefully an 8-year-old doesn't have a telephone, but sometimes they do.
Yeah.
But the point is, that's why I call it the rule of three. If Mom has to say something for the third time, there's a consequence. You take away something that the child values so that they recognize that they cannot behave this way without a consequence.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So Mom thinks up, what does my child like to do? What's one of their favorite activities? And you make sure that cannot happen the following day.
You leverage that. You leverage that information and that knowledge, and you know, Sarah and any kid is going to be, if you're consistent with your use of the rule of three, Sarah's going to pick up on that pretty quickly.
She certainly will.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you that Mom or Dad will not have to do this more than 4 or 5 times at the max.
Right. Because Sarah or any sharp child will connect the dots and say,
They sure will.
Ooh, but again now.
But I would imagine this requires consistency on the parent's part, and to continue to be
Absolutely.
calm, even though Sarah might pitch a fit after she realizes her consequences, right?
Yeah. All right.
She certainly might.
So we got to take a break here, but you can already, folks, I think you can already see what wonderful information that Larry Valmore has. And man, we're just scratching the surface of what epic parenting is. You may want to give Larry a call. I hope you do. 303-204-4481. What a resource this can be for parents. You can also email him at LarryValmore@gmail.com. And on top of all of that, we've got more that he's going to share with us here on Strategies, including a special introductory offer. We'll do that when we come back. Here on Strategies for Living with life strategist Larry Valmore today. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
We all have problems every day. We all need help along the way. We need strategies, strategies, strategies for living radio.
And welcome back in. Welcome back into Strategies for Living Radio. Lauren Leon McMillian, David McMillian, life strategist Larry Valmore today. So LarryValmore at gmail.com, area code 303-204-4481. Folks, you can already hear what Larry is offering in terms of information that can be of help and assistance to any family and household, but especially if you are in a, you say, I don't know what to do. I'm throwing my hands up. I've got this 8-year-old. I've got this 6-year-old. I've got this 12-year-old. And, it's like they're in control. So I'm here to tell you, Larry can help. I mentioned that you are willing, Larry, to give some coaching help, and you've got kind of a special introductory offer. Talk to us about that.
Well, because people are listening to your radio program, and because I value you and Lauren so much, David, I'm offering that people can get a consult running between an hour to an hour and a half for $32.50. That's 10% of my usual fee, $32.50.
Wow.
For between an hour and a half. You're not going to find a deal like that anywhere else.
No.
And additionally, I'm offering a money back guarantee.
What?
So if you do what I suggest you do as a parent, and you do not get a significant improvement in terms of how your family functions, in terms of your child doing what they're supposed to do and being easier to get along with, if you do not get a pleasant result, I will send your money back to you. So you either get a better family or you get your money back.
Yeah.
That's a pretty
And
good
it's
deal,
not
I
that,
think.
not that much money to begin with. Yeah. And it is it's a special deal for people who listen through Strategies for Living. And maybe we can mention that just very briefly at the very end. But may I emphasize this rule of 3 and talk about how important it is, and emphasize that throughout the entire period of time, it's 12 or 15 minutes maximum, but it's vital that mom or dad remain quiet. Their voice is really quiet throughout.
Right.
Because what this does is it shows the child, oh, somebody's in control.
Yeah.
The child instinctively knows they're not in control. They can't fly this thing. And so they're nervous. And if somebody else isn't flying it, then they're extra nervous.
Yeah.
So when mom or dad is quiet but very focused, it shows they are in control. And you mentioned, you two guys mentioned consistency. That is so important. You have to do this consistently. And the child will get from that, oh, somebody's flying this family.
Absolutely.
I can relax. And so their behavior instantly becomes better. And yes, Sarah might pitch a fit when you say you don't have your video game tomorrow, you don't have your bicycle, you don't get to watch TV at all. Whatever the consequence, she might pitch a fit. She'll get loud. Mom stays quiet.
Yeah.
And it's because it's a child that they lose their temper. They haven't yet learned how to keep it quiet. So you let them scream and cry and complain. And you just, okay, whatever. But as mom, you stay quiet. As dad, you stay quiet. And next day, you absolutely have to follow through.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to lock up that video, that PlayStation, that Xbox,
whatever the
you
consequence.
have to,
Yeah.
whatever it is, you have to ensure, because if it's a video game and the next day Sarah's playing that video game and you just walk by, Sarah concludes she didn't mean it. She's a liar.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot trust what my mother tells me.
Yeah.
She told me I wasn't going to have this video game today, and here I am playing it. And you do not want your child to think you're a liar
Mm-hmm.
or that they cannot trust you. That will cause big, big problems.
Yes.
So you must follow through the next day by imposing that consequence, whatever it was that you chose. You must follow through. And as I said before, if you do this, if you're quiet, if you impose a consequence at the third time, rule of 3, pose a consequence if you have to say it a third time.
Yeah.
If you do that and you do it consistently, you will not have to do it more than 4 or 5 times, because Sarah, after a few times, will conclude Mom means what she says. Dad means what he says.
Right.
And so if I don't want to lose my bicycle or my television or my book or whatever it is, then I had better get up and go to bed.
Absolutely.
And that's just an example. Obviously, parents probably figured out this is around, it could be about brushing your teeth, it could be about washing dishes, it could be about making your bed, doing your homework, anything at all that the child's supposed to do but they're resisting doing.
Right.
You can apply the exact same process. You need to start doing your homework.
Yeah.
Second time, you need to start. If it's a third time, boom, consequence.
Right.
It
And what-
also
You lose
establishes
something.
it also establishes a hierarchy. And, you know,
Oh, yeah.
again, back to your pilot and plane example,
Mhm.
you know, why in the moment that the stewardess burst out the door, both pilots have died? Why does panic ensue and fear and anxiety at the point it does? And you can only imagine. It's a great example, great metaphor. But it's because we, most of us who ride on a plane don't know how to fly that baby.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we may pass by the cockpit when we're boarding, and we see all those levers and we see all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and realize, oh, I'm glad somebody else is flying this plane.
Right.
That's our kids.
Somebody who knows what they're doing.
That's our kids. Our kids want you.
Yes.
Even though they're it's their job to press against it.
To press the buttons. Right.
Yeah, they that's their job. They want somebody in control of the aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids want and need massive amounts and yet equal amounts of love and discipline.
Yes.
Yes.
And you're talking about discipline, not punishment.
Yeah. Big
Absolutely.
difference. Big difference between discipline and
In
punishment.
another program, we'll talk about that.
There
you
the
go.
difference between punishment and discipline.
In the meantime, Larry Valmore can be reached at 303-204-4481. I'm going to say it again, 303-204-4481. You can also email him, and he's quick back with the email, LarryValmore@gmail.com. It's Epic Parenting. Talking about it today right here on Strategies for Living. And welcome back. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillan, David McMillan, Larry Valmore, 303-204-4481, LarryValmore@gmail.com.
Larry, we've really covered a lot and yet barely scratched the surface of what you have to offer in terms of epic parenting. But what do you want our listeners to take away from today's conversation?
It's important for the parent to be in control.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be in control of their own emotions. So if they will keep their voice quiet,
Mm-hmm.
then the child can conclude, hey, somebody who knows what they're doing is flying this family, I can relax. And if parents can keep their own emotions under control and yet be the ones in charge and make sure that things happen in the way they say they need to happen, then the kids can relax, and that will transform their behavior. They'll become kids that you barely recognize if you will consistently do this and use that rule of 3.
And it'll happen quicker than you can imagine. It truly will. Larry, thank you so much. I look forward to more of you as a life strategist and sharing epic parenting. In the meantime, folks, you can call him 303-204-4481. Special offer. An hour to an hour and a half session for pennies. There you go. You can also email him, LarryValmore@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you, and we appreciate our sponsors making it all possible. The Robinson Film Center, Azalea Cleaners, Pintail Roofing, Learning RX, We Train Your Brain, the Balanced Life Wellness Center, Fertitta's Delicatessen, home of The Godfather, Alligator Italian Sausage, pretty good Muffies too, SRT Sales Training, Uprising Addiction Center, and Mira Direct Primary Care. If today were the last day of your life, you only had one more phone call to make, who would you call? And what would you say? And why are you waiting? Make the call. For Lauren Leon McMillian, for Larry Valmore, I'm David McMillian. Almost forgot my name there. See you next time right here on Strategies for Living.